fait ma transition. Je vous demande d'accueillir Laura Burdese, Directrice Générale Adjointe de Bvlgari. Voilà, merci pour elle, merci de l'accueillir.
Merci. Merci à vous. Hello, good morning, everyone. It's a true pleasure for me to be here with all of you today to share how we interpret innovation at Bvlgari. First and foremost, for us, innovating doesn't mean use technology for its own sake. It means actually an act of care. It means for us protecting our core, protecting and celebrating our heritage, while giving more to those who choose us. More what? More connections, more emotions, more services, more value, and in the end, more meaning. But we live actually in an era where technology and technological power is very much often celebrated. Actually, we believe in something quite different, and we call it quiet innovation. A silent, almost invisible, behind-the-scene kind of innovation. But it is behind the scene, but for this it's not less powerful or less ambitious. It's just more meaningful. But above all, we also believe that not all innovation is the same. Actually, the companies for us that really lead the change are those able and capable of leading two different streams and platforms of innovations. The first one is a sustainable innovation, which is a kind of innovation that actually celebrates the heritage and protect, enhance the core business. And secondly, the disruptive innovation, which are those that, on the other way around, they push the boundaries, shaping the future. Actually, in the next few minutes, or 10 minutes and so, I will share with you two concrete examples of initiatives of these two kind of different innovations. The first one is Serpente Infinito, which is a very good example of what we mean for sustainable innovation, and the connected jewels, which very well exemplify a kind of disruptive innovation. So let's start with Serpente Infinito. And let me take you to Shanghai, in the ancient Jiangguan district, where earlier this year we kicked off the Year of the Snake, which, as you probably know, it's a very dear animal and symbol to the Bvlgari family. We actually celebrated the Year of the Snake through an immersive jewelry exhibition. It was actually much more than just a jewelry exhibition. It was meant to be a full 360 ecosystem, blending and merging, of course, jewelry and watches, art, both ancient art and contemporary art, Chinese artists, and meant to really transform an icon of luxury into a very strong emotional, cultural narrative. In this exhibition, we intertwined the symbolism, the very rich symbolism of the snake, of the serpent, in the Chinese culture, where it means, for example, values such as protection, health, fertility, lucky, wisdom, with the long heritage of the Bvlgari brand, creating a kind of virtual bridge between the two worlds and the two cultures, East and West. The result was a very engaging and interactive journey into these two different cultures, forging a new kind of universal language, again a bridge between jewelry, watches, craftsmanship, contemporary and ancient art. The real challenge in this exhibition for us actually was how to enhance, celebrate, and show our creations, which actually are very iconic, but they are also very small. So how to make them shine in such a rich, grand architectural exhibition. To do so, we actually looked outside of our industry, like most of innovators usually do. Actually, we looked at the concert. So we thought about a kind of scenography that could enhance the product itself without overwhelming it. And then the teams came out creating and designing a kind of curved windows, curved because, of course, they were symbolizing the sinuosity of the shape of the snake. And they designed these windows that were meant to be interactive through sensors. So each and every visitors getting close to these windows, they were able to activate very special dedicated contents with storytelling, with details on the products, on the narrative, things that in any case would have not been visible with the naked eye in a different way. So this innovation actually was very much loved, and it was also enriched by specific VR suite that actually expanded even the physical experience of the exhibition from the physical world into the digital realm. These curved showcases that actually blended technology, creativity, and emotional storytelling allowed all these visitors to discover hidden contents, storytelling, cultural nuances that, if not, would have been totally forgotten. This innovation actually, and I'm very proud of my team, was praised with a very important prize, the Frame Award for the Best Innovation, which is a prize that celebrates the capability of the Maison to merge creativity, design, and cultural impact. The result was this multisensory, very engaging, very interactive experience. But like in the concert, as I said before, the most important thing for us was that this background, that this scenography was not eating of overwhelming the products, while on the other way around, it was really celebrating every single detail, giving it another depth and emotional side of it. And this is really, to me, the very true essence of what sustainable innovation is about. It's not about overwhelming or substituting the human creation or the design, but really reinforcing the core, amplifying the heritage, and giving it more depth, more meaning, and more cultural depth. And the numbers speak for themselves. In a little bit more than 5 weeks, we had over 85,000 visitors just in Shanghai. And then we moved this exhibition in 2 other countries, in March in Seoul, of course tweaked into the Korean culture. And then we brought it to Mumbai at the beginning of October this year in India, again with the storytelling very much tweaked and linked to the Indian cultural storytelling. Overall, these exhibitions, the 3 of them, they welcomed almost 180,000 visitors overall. All of them, they engaged with at least one of these interactive and digital touchpoints, and the occupancy rate of the VR suite, it was very close to 90%, meaning that the people loved it and found values in interacting with these windows. But now, this, let's say, these interactive showcases will not remain as a one-off feature inside these exhibitions. We have decided to bring them into the world of retail, and in beginning of 26, they will be, the same technology will be displayed in the facade of a new store, which we will open between February and March in Abu Dhabi. And in this case, we will merge technology with architecture, with creativity, and with innovations as well. And let me now bring you to the second kind of innovation, which is very different. While the first one, the Serpente Infinito, was really enhancing the heritage, enhancing our creations, the creativity, and the human craftsmanship behind each and every creation, this second kind of innovation is of a very different kind, and this is the story of the connected jewels. For centuries, the alchemists tried to turn base metal into gold. We know it, and without success. And we did actually totally the other way around. We started from gold and tried to give gold a deeper and more powerful meaning. And we won. It was a very long way. The team worked on this for a few years, but at the end, we were able to create something very special, very different, without any compromise on the beauty and the aesthetic of the product. And this is the story of the connected jewelry. Thanks to a 0.7, so a very, very thin micro engraving enhanced with an eye recognition system, today every high jewelry Bvlgari creation has this very specific code and can be identified to a very simple gesture. There is no QR code. There is no other, let's say, features that can have an impact on the beauty of the product. No compromise. no chip, nothing, just this very micro, very tiny engraving on each and every piece. And behind this engraving lies our Bvlgari digital product passport, powered by our blockchain and delivering many tangible, concrete, and pragmatic benefits to all our clients. First and foremost, as you can imagine, through this engraving and through these digital product passports, the jewel becomes a living certificate of authenticity. And this is probably the most important and powerful thing. Secondly, every client has direct and constant access to all the data related to the jewel itself. In total transparency, the gems, the provenance, materials, every technical feature you want to know on the product is going to be stored in there. Then a kind of peace of mind, you know, and you have the certainty that those information are true, are verified, are certified, and they will always be within your product. And then, last but not least, the clients will have access to a full bunch of exclusive services, starting from care services, maintenance, in-store services, special storytelling, and so on and so forth. And, sorry, there is another very important point, long-term value. So either is the product will be passed down from one generation to the other, resold, or gifted, all this information will always be embedded within the jewel and accessible through just a very simple gesture. So in a sector like high jewelry, you can imagine this seems easy, and this is the great enough technology, seems easy, but it was not. And it's a true revolution, because this really shifts the paradigm and opens a new space for innovation in an industry where technological innovation are truly very, very rare. In 2026, this technology will be rolled out not only on the high jewelry pieces, which of course in terms of numbers is quite limited, but will be rolled out on all our fine jewelry creations, allowing a much wider audience to be able to engage with this connected authenticity directly. And this is for us, of course, a big effort and a great satisfaction. So I try to describe quite quickly those two examples of innovation, but they have to be read together in order to understand how we at Bvlgari really interpret innovation, because these two examples, these two different and parallel paradigms actually needs to be read together, because they are the two sides of the same strategy, of the same coin. One, again, is the sustainable innovation, protecting the heritage and enhancing the core business, and the other one is really about the disruptive innovation, which opens new doors and breaks the boundaries with a more pioneering spirit. Those two parallel planes together shows how we really care and how we see innovation, which for us has never been a question of cost, but not even, let's say, a philosophical or aesthetical exercise. It's really a growth engine. An engine which allows us to protect and amplify our core, our heritage, our legacy, but also to reimagine who we can become in the future. And like any cultural endeavor, this exercise requires mastering two dimensions of time, chronos and kairos. You know, we have Greek origins, so we love this kind of examples. Why? Chronos is the linear time, the time of deadlines, of efficiencies, the normal time that we use for project management, for example. But kairos is the right time. It's a verb that, for example, in Italy doesn't exist. It's just a Greek verb to say the right meaningful time, where a gesture or an experience become memorable forever. And mastering innovation means being able to reconcile or to balance these two different dimensions of times. So keeping the discipline of chronos, but at the same time having the sensibility for the kairos, which is the right moment for the right innovation. Because at the end, innovation doesn't change the product, doesn't change only how we engage with things in the world. It changed the way we experience time and we experience the world. And that's the reason why we have to look at innovation, at least at Bvlgari, more consciously, more profoundly and also more authentically, because at the end, innovation is an effort that needs clarity, needs intention, and needs meaning. Thank you.